what I've noticed with you is just you don't limit yourself, and I think that like I can feel that when I'm around you, and it's cool that kind of everything you've set your mind to really you've done. So
I owned a cab company.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I started and owned and sold a cab company.
That's unreal.
Dude, hold on.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Tell us a little more, because I want to hear this story again about how this happened.
Okay, do you guys remember Hobo Nick? Remember Hobo Nick?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Hobo Nick, dude, one of my forever friend. He's a guy I could not talk to him for 20 years, and the minute I see him, I just want to hug him so bad. I love Hobo Nick so much. And in 2013, I was racing arena cross, kind of doing that end of career survival thing. I don't know where I need to go where I can make just enough money to keep doing this thing because I don't know what to do.
Right.
And during that season, I was kind of coming to the grips of I need to be done. This ain't going anywhere. And just me and him creatively kind of came up with this idea. It started out as a joke. We wanted to have a company called NASCAB. We were going to have cabs that were all painted like NASCARs, and we were just having a good time joking. We were like, we're going to wear helmets, and we're going to drive around people and pick up people in NASCABs. That was where it started. Very quickly, we learned that was probably a stupid idea, and it might have sounded funnier than it was going to become. So then we ended up changing it. Nick's idea, because he's such a giving person. He's a charitable human. He's like, I've had this idea about what if we had a cab company and a certain percentage of the fares go to some charities that I care about, whatever. Boom, we came up with Charity Cab. That was our name. And we started a business, me, Nick, and another friend, Rhett.
What year is this?
This is 2013 Arena Cross ends, and I'm done. And I bought a Prius, Camry first. We had Camrys first. I bought a Camry. Nick bought a Camry. Our buddy Rhett had a little mini SUV thing. And yeah, this was the summer of 2013. And we just did it. We just started it, and we started $1 of every fare would go to charity, and we would change the charity. We eventually moved it to local charities in the area, like animal shelters.
This was Sacramento, right? That
No,
area?
Bay Area. This is pre-Uber, just so you know, Uber plays a role in this. This is pre-Uber in the area. We're in the outskirts of the Bay Area, they call it East Bay, Pleasanton, Livermore, that area. And it was just an idea, and I was ambitious. I wanted to start a business, and he had the model figured out. He knew the business because he had driven a cab before, just in different chapters of his life. Because talk about someone. You want to talk to somebody? Talk to Hobo Nick. Dude, that dude's life. Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then so we did it. We got all of our licenses. We got our permits. We went through the whole process. Started a business, and us three lived in the cars.
You guys driving?
We drove and we lived. We had our own cars. I had a Camry. Nick had a Camry.
Were you married at this point?
Yeah. What did Maggie think about this?
Look, Maggie, that poor woman, man. She has been through a lot of dumb things that I've done, and it's worked out. She's very happy with her life now. I finally gave her the life she wanted, but it took a while. But I had my son. He was 3. My wife was pregnant, about to have. We started in June, and my wife was due in August. So I had my daughter was coming, and we were gonna go for it. And I was ambitious, and she's never killed my ambition ever. As crazy and dumb of the idea. I mean, dude, I had a Class A truck license. I drove big rigs for a while, and the Folsom Dam. I helped rebuild the Folsom Dam. Did that for a while. Worked for a construction company. Built. You ever see that Chevron out on 395 out in Victorville, out where Sunrise used to be? Did you ever go up that way? Comp Edge? That big giant Chevron. So
vaguely.
I was the the manager of that whole project. It was a $1.2 million Chevron gas station. I knew nothing. Nothing about that at all. But the owner of the company overbid. Okay, he bid and got too many jobs, and he's like, I'm going to hire you. You're going to manage this. You're going to manage it through the phone and email with me, and we're going to pull this off just somehow.
So you weren't even really on site?
No, I lived there. I would fly all week. I'd be in Victorville. I'd fly home on the weekend. So what I'm getting at is my wife has put up with some stupid stuff along the way. But the cab thing was we had a vision, and it was a good vision. The hard part is we were living in the cars. I would sleep in the car because you got to be 24-hour to build your credibility in the area and let people know you're reliable. So I would sleep in the back of the Camry in an apartment complex's parking lot, and then sometimes security would wake me up. I'd have to go move, and you're just waiting for a call at 2 a.m. from someone drunk to go get them because you need to build your reputation as reliable. And I did that all the way through, and then my daughter was born. And that just,
and shit gets real.
And I already had my son, but he's 3. It's working, but I could not be with my daughter, and the job required 24/7 being available. And there was only 3 of us, and we were blowing up. Like I had to.
Were you making good money doing it at this point?
It was starting to roll. It was like we had gotten through the dirty part, the growth part. You know, you lose money at first, but within 2 months, we were already getting a reputation. Like, these guys are awesome. We had punch cards, 9 rides in your 10th is free. We did all those types of things, and it was working. But my daughter was born, and I don't know if it's the difference between a boy and a girl. My son, to me, he's like, I've always looked at him like, you're a little dude. You better be tough and deal.
Right.
My daughter, dude, it was like, that's my baby. I couldn't even stand to be away from her for 3 days. I'd go for 3 days. I'll be back on Thursday, babe. And I'd just go live in the car for 3 days. And I couldn't do it.
That's pretty gnarly, man.
Dude, it was gnarly, but it was part of this like ambitious thing I've gone through probably for about a 10-year period where I guess if you're, like I said, I
got to be chased some.
I grew up poor. My adult life was very tough all the way through. And I'm like, I got a wife who's like so loyal and cool, and like these kids. And I'm like, I have to do something for them. And that's going to require me to maybe be gone a lot, which I still to this day have been. But that's how I'm going to be able to generate the income that gives them the life that I want to give them. So it's tough because I'm away from them. But at the same time, like, I'm doing good for them. But I couldn't handle that.
It's always, I imagine it's difficult to balance that. I mean, you're always kind of walking a line, right? You want to have that pride and feel like you're taking care of them, but you also, you only live one time.
My opportunities came with me being away. Every opportunity I've ever gotten has been, you have to be away from home. And it's like, man, like, I would love the day to come where I'm like, I can have a great job, successful situation, and I don't have to leave my home and be with my family. Like, I want that bad, but I know that that's just not the cards,
I'm looking for a personal assistant, just online stuff, booking flights.
How much you pay?
Shoot, probably not enough.
I want whatever Shane gets, but double. But anyway, so that was a cab company. And then I ended up saying, guys, I can't hang, and they bought me out.
So it was just still the 3 cars.
Mm-hmm.
So they bought
job.
Yeah.
What's
right?
that?
That was your only job?
At that time. At that time, I dropped everything for that. And
they bought your Camry.
Bought my Camry, bought me out of the business, and then eventually Nick sold to Rhett. Rhett ended up running it for a few more years. He ended up selling it, but the problem was Uber. All of a sudden, these Ubers from the Bay, like the Bay, we're talking Oakland, San Francisco, all of a sudden, they're starting to pop up out in the East Bay, and I'm like, uh-oh, and look what happened. I mean, the personalized cab companies have had to modify the way they do business now because Uber just wiped them. But Charity Cab hung in there because it had such a great purpose, and we were integrated in the community, so it survived, and Rhett survived for a while. But eventually, Uber is just, you punch on your phone, and
it's so easy.
It's so easy. So,
I would never get in a cab. No,
I didn't mean either. I'm like,
where is Rhett at now? Like, is he still
NorCal, hangs, rides, dude? Like, moved to Costa Rica for a while, moved back. Like, just one of the coolest dudes ever. But
I've been to Costa Rica.
You have, huh? Let's get into that.
No.